We simply cannot build a future-ready workforce on a foundation of division. We have to unite as our people to see that the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Tinubu is not a collection of isolated policies. It's a carefully thought out framework. It is a covenant with the Nigerian people, and central to that covenant is the promise of human capital development, a promise that every Nigerian can acquire the skills needed to thrive. And fulfilling such a promise is not contingent on interagency harmony. It demands it. We have to unite. We have to forge that harmony, that sense of togetherness, that sense of focus, that sense of vision, that sense of drive for us to accomplish those objectives. We must move towards a new streamlined workflow that embeds collaboration directly into the process of curriculum development and funding. No door to funding can be unlocked without both the ITF and the NBTE turning their keys together. Let us remember who we serve. This new process isn't just for our own convenience. It is for the ambitious artisan in Kaura Namoda seeking certification, for the mid-career worker in Ebute Meta needing to skills, and for the technical colleges across this nation that need funding to become true centers of excellence. So, Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as we leave this meeting today, we must continue to strive to develop and impose a unified command structure for Nigeria's skills revolution. We must replace fragmentation with a framework for partnership. We must replace indecision with a clear and resolute path forward. Let's now move from this room to the work of implementation with a single mind and a shared purpose.
Today's meeting is a meeting on National Council on Skill, and under the able leadership of the Vice President, Senator Kashim Shettima, and of course the Honorable Minister of Education is the Vice Chairman of the Council. We have relevant stakeholders as part of the Council, as well as governors representing the 6 geopolitical zones. And of course, we discuss a number of issues. One of the areas we discuss is the issue of the bill that we're about to send to the National Assembly on National Council on Skill. The essence of that is to find a way of harmonizing the activities and actions of all the major players in an ecosystem that has to do with skill development in Nigeria. And of course, the meeting was very fruitful. And of course, we look at different areas. And of course, at this juncture, I also have to commend the federal government as well as the Minister of Education. Just recently, the Minister of Education here under his able leadership decided to also consider some Panteka markets to be part of the skills framework of the federal government. That is in addition to the investment in TVET, which of course, as we are speaking, many centers have been captured, over 1,000. That's what will be discussed today. Kaduna is one of the states that have also benefited. And I can say that Kaduna benefited more than any state in Nigeria as we are speaking. And of course, simply because we keen with what they are doing at the federal level. And only about a few months ago, President Bola Tinubu came to Kaduna and commissioned skill institutes, and would have about 2 other branches in the 2 senatorial zones. And as we are speaking, we also admitted about 32,000 students that will be given training, and of course they will have the certification of Nigerian skills qualification framework, which was approved by the Prime Minister of Education under the NBTE. So what I can say here is that the way to go is skills in Nigeria. That's the only way we can be able to address the issue of unemployment, empower our youths so that they can be gainfully employed. We have a lot of deficit in the area of skills in Nigeria, and that's the reason why the investment in the area of skills by the federal government is unprecedented. There's no government in the history of Nigeria that have invested in the area of skills. Now, this very government, and I feel it's highly commendable. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. As the governor, His Excellency, the governor of Kaduna just told us, we just finished the National Council of Skill meeting, chaired by able Vice President Kashim Shettima. I won't rehash what the governor has said, but let me tell you this. It's front and center is about skill now in the country. This is what the President Bola Tinubu has promised the nation. And as the President would always say, the youths are the heartbeat of this nation. and is committed to giving them all the opportunities to excel and lead a decent life so that they can be productive to the society, be useful to themselves and the nation and community as the world as large. Now, let me tell you what we've done. Recently, you heard us release a new curriculum, which is heavily focused on skills. We've streamlined it with clear emphasis on 6 skills that will be done at junior secondary schools and secondary schools. And those are skills that have been mapped to the needs of the country. So we're not shooting in the dark again. We're doing things based on evidence. We're planning about evidence-based policy and evidence-based intervention, and we're going to use evidence to monitor outcomes. The 6 skills that will be taught at the junior secondary schools now and senior secondary schools are fashion and garment making, livestock, solar photovoltaic, computer and GSM hardware repair, and 2 more others these are where we have the areas of need. And I'm happy to also report to the nation that TVET initiative with the first set of students will be starting in the next 2 weeks. As I've communicated to the nation, we had almost 1 million people, Nigerians, registered on the platform. The first cohort will be about 200,000, and I have to commend the governor of Kaduna State. Kaduna State had the highest number of students, about 98,000 registered. This tells you one thing, that our youth, they are yearning for the opportunity. It's what government now needs to do is to meet them halfway, give them the opportunity, and this is what this government of President Bola Tinubu is doing. You've seen our National Council of Skills council meeting. We've had this meeting continuously without being cancelled. The Vice President is very determined that that attendance at this meeting, and this council now does one thing that has been missing in a skill ecosystem in the past. We've had frictions between MDAs, even between MBT and ITF. This council is resolving that as the advisory council, putting everybody together. So we now have a longitudinal focus on how we're dealing with skill issue in the country. And I think the young kids of Nigeria, the hundreds of millions of kids in Nigeria, youth in Nigeria, are the eventual beneficiary today. I thank our president and I thank the vice president. And also, let me also tell you what Kaduna Governor, my dear brother, His Excellency Governor Uba Sani is doing in Kaduna, which I'm going to implore other subnational government to follow. The governor has set up a Kaduna State Council of Skill that is being chaired by himself to also harmonize the skill ecosystem in Kaduna State. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Yeah. Minister of Labour,
it has happened is that ab initio from when you are in school, you start to learn skill. Unlike what we are having now, people have certificates, they don't have skill. So what this council is doing is to harmonize and make sure that every MDA collaborate, including, that's what Minister of Education is here. He's the person starting it from the scratch. So people have to go back to basics, start from primary school, start from nursery school to learn skills. And then when it come and then they graduate maybe without skills, that's where the labor ministry comes in to take people who have maybe graduated and they have not been able to have any skill, and then they can also take people who are not in school but they want to still be skilled. But the important thing is that at the end of the day, Nigerians have skills, Nigerians have something to do, Nigerians have work ab initio before even coming out. So as you're growing up, you're growing with skill, and then the labor ministry will not have barrages of unemployed people littered all over the street. So it's win-win for everybody, and that's why the 8-point agenda is being garnered, and then with collaboration in the next few years, you see a lot of skills across the whole nation, across tribes, across what you call maybe whether you're young, whether you are elderly, whether you're youth, it's